maybe I should just call you Maharani.
Go for it. You have my blessings. Season 1 release हुआ था तो हम थोड़ा upset थे सारे क्योंकि the first run of reviews were terrible. From like my first brand I got paid 5,000 rupees. Or by the end of 6 months I was paid 1 lakh.
Did you have someone as an idol?
Madhuri Dixit.
Madhuri Dixit. And then in Ded Ishq Kiya you play her lover, as it were.
I got to know later that in the earlier draft there was even supposed to be a kiss between the two. नहीं बोलना चाहिए ना ये. But it's true.
Parents being wary of kids moving to another city. There are stories also.
100%. They thought this was a prostitution racket. They were convinced. You know,
Someone like an Anurag Kashyap, he sees you a particular way and then he gives you a 3-film deal.
There was one little contract for which they paid me 65,000 rupees. That is what I got for both parts.
Now I'm feeling rich for the first time.
See? That's what I'm saying.
What did you think of the Me Too movement, for instance?
Oh, wow. Much needed. It's already made a real dent. I feel like till the time we don't stop branding the women who come out and speak about it in popular media, it's not going to be okay. I still feel there's so much victim shaming and branding that happens.
I'm guessing you're single. ये काटना मत भाई. Hello and welcome to Sit With Hitlist, our completely unscripted conversation series. My name is Mayank Shekhar. With me is actor Huma Qureshi, hopefully in great humor, as
Hi,
it were.
Mayank.
Very good. How are you doing?
Very good.
So I'm just thinking, since I've already played on Huma, maybe I should just call you Maharani as well, right?
I'm not complaining.
The queen, as it were.
Go
Nobody
for it.
should be
You have my blessings.
Because I'm also saying this because right before this I watched 2 episodes, well actually 1.5 episodes of the 4th season. That's all they sent me.
Right.
Not because of any
that's more
other
than I've
reason.
seen, so congratulations.
I'll send it to you right now.
Please do.
But it's so different from the first season in the sense that the first one was so based in the truth we already know or reality or headlines.
Right.
In terms of even characters, like say you could see elements of a Nitish Kumar, you could see a bit of Lalu Yadav, of course you could see a bit of Rabri Dev, but where it's come to now is a completely different world, right? In terms of the arc of the story.
Right. But that's a good thing, right? Because I feel like if it was just to remain constricted to that world or dunya, and I don't know, I mean, if you can make any direct political references, I think people, it's always the imagination.
Right.
I call this genre political fantasy fiction. You know what I mean? Like, कि आप मतलब ऐसा कुछ है, but शायद हमने कहीं सुना था, मतलब देखा था.
ये वो हो सकता है, but ये वो भी हो सकता है.
But nobody is really that.
Right.
Like I remember so many people were like, आप राबड़ी देवी play कर रही है ना? And I'm like, नहीं भैया, मतलब, you know, just the kernel of that idea that.
Have you seen Succession?
I have. I mean, but
so
not
like the first one was so much Rupert Murdoch, but
correct.
That's not what the
not
series
what
became thereafter.
I think that's what captures your fascination for it, because you feel like, okay, these could be potentially real people, but are not. But
Right.
kind of inspired by real life or not, kind of a thing. And I think the way season 3 ended and just the stupendous success of it, which I think blew all of us away. They just had to take her to national politics because there was, I don't know, nothing else left in Bihar. Don't tell anybody I said this.
You just said it.
No, in terms of like from a drama series perspective, now you have to up the ante. You have to try and take it to a national political level, and you have to make it, you know, a little bit more
Coalition
than
politics
that.
and 2012,
all of those
etc.
things, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like it just makes it also more wider. You know, I think this show, I mean, although when I look back, मुझे अभी भी याद है जब Thursday, Friday को जब season 1 release हुआ था, तो हम थोड़ा upset थे सारे, क्योंकि the first run of reviews were terrible.
Really?
Barring 1 or 2 nice ones, I mean, especially the English sort of, you know, press had sort of really written us off. He could have been better writing. Huma Qureshi could have performed better. Like, ये सब it's all in the public domain. So we were very sad कि यार shit, I wish, चलो next time कुछ करेंगे मेहनत. And I remember Subhash sir, Nandan, Uma, our writers, the entire core team met in office and they had, you know, chai session and coffee session saying, okay, what can we do differently? You know, kind of a manthan. But by Sunday, Monday, I think when the numbers started coming in, and I was at home, I was sleeping in my room, and Sunday, like a quintessential brother, Saqib, has just barged into my room. And he's like, "Aapka show kaisa kar raha hai?" So I said, अच्छा कर रहा है, मतलब at least I think so, like what have you heard? He said at least 5-6 people have called me and they're saying, we don't have your sister's number, can you please call her?
Wow.
She's fantastic in the show. And then of course the show
This
became...
is 2021, right?
21? Yeah, 21. Yeah. And then since then...
It's been 4 years.
It's been 4
and
years.
You've been playing this role for 4 years now.
And 4 seasons?
4
like,
seasons.
What is the speed also even? Like, I think...
Then in that case, you would have shot it during pandemic, no?
Yes. This was the first series I had heard on Zoom. And I remember there was, I think... Mr. Subhash Kapoor on the call, Mr. Shogoto, who's part of Sony.
The narration happened
The narration
over Zoom.
happened on Zoom. So this was my first Zoom, and it was very strange world order. And I just said yes because, and I remember I was of course a little conflicted because I had never done anything like this before. Here was this village woman, 3 बच्चों की माँ, which is almost like a slur for a Hindi film heroine. कि अब तुम 3 बच्चों की माँ का role करोगे, that means मतलब your career is really over. And I remember having this exact conversation with my team, my managers, etc. And we even had this discussion. कि should we at least tell them कि एक बच्चे की माँ still okay? Should we negotiate that मांडवाली कर लेते हैं? And I'm like, don't be ridiculous.
And in any case, Rabdi Devi has far more than 3 children.
Of course, but this is not Rabdi Devi, so case in point. But no, I think, but then I thought about it, and thankfully because it was COVID, and I had all this time to self-reflect and be like, okay, who am I really? And of course, all these existential questions of if I died today, like what really have I left out to this world?
Gangs of Wasseypur.
But that can be the only.
Sure. Yeah,
no, but man, seriously, I'm glad you said that because for the longest time I was like, I can't be just that girl from Gangs of Wasseypur. I have to have more, right? And
is that why in the middle of the pandemic, when the whole world was under lockdown, you were shooting another Bollywood movie?
Bell Bottom.
Bell Bottom. Yeah. I remember watching that film when it released, when the theatres had not even reopened in Mumbai.
We were on a flight to Scotland. I think I said yes to the film because they were going to put me on a plane to Scotland and take me away. I'm admitting it for the first time on camera because we would have this Ludo group where we would play Ludo all night. You must have done that, right? And you could also speak to each other. And Jackie Bhagnani and Akshay sir called me one day. After
you guys were in the Ludo group?
We were in the Ludo group.
Unrelated to the film?
No, of course. This was just time pass. And they're like, अच्छा सुन picture करेगी? And I was like, कौन सी? And they're like, Bell Bottom. And I was like, उसकी casting तो हो गई. नहीं, एक नया character है. So I said like, I know you guys like my company, but there has to be something for me to do. Right?
Can't play Ludo there.
It can't play Ludo there, which is by the way exactly what I did. I was in Scotland for about 14 days in quarantine. I must have shot for the film for like 6-7 days, and it was a cameo and a guest appearance.
It's a lovely film though.
Yeah,
I think very underrated because I remember the press was sent to Surat to watch it, and like I was thinking, hey man, we're going all the way to Surat to watch a movie. It better be good with this shit, right? I mean,
also pandemic.
Pandemic. I'm like, wow, this is a pretty good film. Like, it's a proper thriller, Argo type thriller, working really well in general. And yeah, you were there during the pandemic, working in Maharani plus Bell Bottom.
So we did Bell Bottom. Then I didn't come back to India. I went to Dubai for a bit because I was like, let's stay out and travel a little bit to all the green zone countries. And then I came back and we shot Maharani. And the first location was Kachneria, which is a bit outside Bhopal. This lovely little house which is also used as a guest house, and that is actually Rani Bharti's house in the entire
It's not
series.
even Bihar.
It's actually Bhopal. So we've never actually, strangely enough, we've never been to Bihar to shoot this. In fact, someone asked me today, saying, "Aisa kyun?" So I'm like, "Aisa koi matlab or reason nahi." I think it's just financially, logistically, it's just a better option to be shooting.
But when you do the same role over 4 years or 4 seasons, as it were, how does it work for you, Huma? In the sense
like wine, gets better with age.
It gets better with age, I'm sure. We can see that on the screen. But like for you personally, because you go in and out of that role, right? You've done lots of things in between, and it's common for TV people to do this. TV actors, work in the same role for years sometimes, but they go to work every day. Like, so when you're back in the 4th season or the 3rd or the 2nd for that matter, do you watch yourself again to get into groove, or is it just the costume and you're back to?
So there is a gentleman called Mr. Subhash Kapoor. He's a force of nature. And if you ever think you can slack off on his set, then help you God. It's never going to happen. I remember season 1 had happened. It was this roaring success. I got my film fare, Everyone's on a high. And then I turn up on set. And I promise you, during the entire shooting of season 2 and then 3, he just was like, "You're not serious." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, no, you have to, like, if he would see me like joking around or like faffing around, he'd be like, no, you're not taking this seriously. Just because, you think you've got your award and whatever, now you're not invested in this. But I'm like, but I really am. Like, I'm really doing my best. It was just this little, I wouldn't call it a mind game, but it is his way of pushing me. Because he knows how I get if someone says I'm not serious. I'm like, no, what do you mean? Of course I'm really invested in this. And I would be like, no, I'm very serious. And then one day I remember in frustration, I told him, ye mera best hai. आपको लगता है I can do better, but really this is the best that I can do. But I'm so glad because I think we share a very, very beautiful relationship.
Why did he offer you this role? I mean,
don't
you
know.
don't
I
have
think it was-
any connection to Bihar to the best of my knowledge,
Yeah.
right? You're a Delhi girl.
Correct.
Unless you have lots of Bihari friends or you've done this role in theatre before. I mean, and it's such a specific role in the sense it's very specific geographically, right?
Actually, I've never asked him. I do know that the platform and I don't know, Sony Live wanted to go with someone newer because as a platform, I think they don't want to only work with stars or whatever. They want to really work with storytellers and
And they
which
did with
is
Scam
great.
1992.
Exactly,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is great,
Their
right?
breakout
I think
show.
that's a great this thing. So I know there was a bit of reluctance to have me on board because they also thought, "Arey, look at her Instagram. She's always like dressing up and playing Barbie. Like, why would she agree to do this? And if she did, also it will be." I think there were some concerns over there, but he always pushed for it. Actually, I've never asked him. I should.
Could it be Gangs of Wasseypur? The
Could
fact
be.
that you played a girl, although that's Jharkhand, but not too different from
I have a
Bihar.
theory though.
Yeah, what is
but
it?
I don't know if it's. I think our first collaboration was on Jolly LLB 2. And I remember, anyway, it was not a very big part, but I think during the edit of that, my role became even smaller. And I remember like being really upset about it and saying, "Main to kuch kar hi nahi rahi hu is picture mein," or something. And I remember he would keep sending me messages saying, "No, Pushpa Pandey, people love the fact that she's an alcoholic," or what, just trying to make me feel better.
Right.
Because these things happen, right? No one
Yeah.
really plans it, but sometimes some of your best scenes, in fact, there was a very strong scene which is there in the trailer but never made to the film, in which I scream at Akshay Sir's character and I show him the right path or whatever, but that never made it to the final film. So I was very upset that I don't really have like an arc, and I detest from my core playing
Which was different from the
ornamental-
script, but you signed up for it, right?
Right, but also I detest from my core playing ornamental parts, and that's what it ended up becoming. But there's nothing sometimes you
Eventually,
can do about.
in the edit.
Yeah, so I think maybe he felt bad for
He
me.
wanted to compensate you
I don't
for
know,
it.
maybe. It's a theory. I haven't checked with him. I should actually ask him that. Why do you think? Because, I mean, I'm not a Bihari.
Yeah.
I'm as urban gets.
Yeah.
But then maybe it was Gangs
And there's
of Wasseypur.
Gangs of Wasseypur, right?
And there's Gangs of Wasseypur.
So what was that scene that is there in the trailer but not in the movie? In
It's
Jolly
me
LB2?
yelling at Akshay Sir's character, going like, to go and prove yourself and stop being, like, stop slacking off, basically. Because I kind of urge him to go and take up the case.
You're basically bashing,
Basically.
which is precisely what you did in Gangs of Wasseypur. That permission.
I
permission
recently met Nawaz. I didn't know he was very. He was telling a group of friends that I was very upset with Huma for that permission scene, and I was like, but why? So he's like, यार वो scene मेरे साथ हुआ था.
That's true. He's told me this long time ago.
He told
This
you
is
as well,
actually-
right?
Yes,
And I
happened in
didn't
life.
know he was so upset. He's taken Badla out in Badlapur on me, which I didn't know. He said, so when we did the Badlapur scene, because he thought I stole his thunder, he didn't let me talk in the Badlapur scene. And I was like, oh, like that's the real Badla in Badlapur.
Oh, I have to see that scene now. The Badlapur scene now.
I go meet him in jail and he starts talking. He's like, मुझे पता था if I let you start talking. So I picked up the phone and go like, ये बात कर, वो बात कर, and I'm just like, what? And then he's like, you're still Kamini, you still said, अभी तो जेल में है.
Well, I remember him telling me that that particular thing when it happened in his life, when the girl did that to him,
Correct.
he could hear the sound of the siren, the police siren in his head. So when did he, like, obviously he's not a screenwriter, so when did this, like, did they just decide on that day?
We did a bunch of workshops for Gangs of Wasseypur,
Yeah.
where I think actors just came in and I mean, they just poured their heart out, and it's a way of just ice breaking, getting to know each other, and also like exploring scenes. And this is I think in one of those free flowing sessions was a story that Nawaz ended up sharing, which of course is very, very emotional, moving, but also funny.
Yeah.
On this particular day, because we didn't really have a schedule for Gangs, Kashyap at some point was like at 12 o'clock, okay, we have to do one more scene. And both of us were called and said, okay, get ready and something.
But you don't know his scene.
There's no script.
There's no script.
No, I mean, there is a script.
Yeah.
I do have it.
Yeah.
I do have it. I will show it to you one day.
Uh-huh.
It's quite special actually. There's a script, but it's very directive. Like it's not really detailed. I don't know how else to explain
It's not
it.
a dialogue script.
It's not. Some scenes have dialogue, some
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
Some scenes will be detailed and have dialogues and locations and all of that, and some will be like Faisal, Mohsina go to the market. And for some reason, they were all my scenes with Nawaz.
And you're a first timer. You're a debutant actor.
Yeah.
That's kind of hardcore.
But I did come from theatre, and
You
I did
did.
work with
And of
Mr. N.K.
course-
Sharma and Amir Raza Hussain, and I think I was always like okay with being thrown into the deep end of the sea.
You're used to it.
I'm used to it because theatre, you know, like you just
Like, I mean, okay, fine. Maybe Subhash Kapoor saw you in Gangs of Wasseypur. Where did Anurag Kashyap see you in? Because
we didn't act together. So in fact, it was Anurag Kashyap's first ad film. It was my 12th, and because I came from Delhi to Bombay, and I started just doing a lot of ads.
So you're playing something like a dolly in that ad, or
It was a mobile phone ad in which I was cast opposite Amir sir and Amir Khan, and I'm supposed to be his girlfriend, and it's like it was a series of 3-4 ads.
but it's an urban ad, or is it like a kind
No,
of rural ad? What
it's
is
a
it?
small town romance kind of
Okay,
a
small
thing.
town, okay.
I think the tagline was "Dil to jeb mein rakha hai," and you know how basically the phone is always close to your heart, and it's a way for you to stay close to your loved ones. And I'm the girlfriend, and he wants to go to the big city, and I don't like it. And is that? And then we obviously stay connected to the phone, and I like romancing.
It's a pretty cool ad, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty cute actually.
Yeah. What brand is it?
Samsung.
Samsung. Okay.
I mean, if
You can say it now, or do you endorse some other
I don't
brand?
know. They better pay me for saying this now. You know, I'm going to hold you to it otherwise.
We'll beep it otherwise. I'll check with you before we air the episode.
Or just send them saying, "Aap paise."
Half, huh?
Done, 10%.
मेरा half तो मतलब आपका half will be my entire year's
No,
salary,
no,
so
no.
I'm very happy with the 1/4 also.
That's very sweet of you.
It
No,
is
but
the
they have
fact.
to pay first. Now we'll figure all this later.
We'll
We'll check. Yeah.
On the check. Yeah. So there is that ad where you are a small town girl with
Correct.
the girlfriend of Amir Khan, and he can see that I'm writing something similar. Is that what happened?
I think when I moved to Bombay, I just had a bit of I carried a bit of that Gargi girl exuberance in me. Like I was not. I think now I'm still a bit more careful with what I say and how I, you know, like with my opinions and whatever.
You had nothing to lose.
I had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I thought I was the coolest cat. You know, like you have that kind of a thing and you just walk in and be like, okay, I'm going to do an audition, and if you like it, great. If not,
Right.
I'll go somewhere else. I had nothing to lose. And I came into that ad, I just did my thing, and he told me on the 3rd day of shoot that I'm going to cast you in this film. And I'm such a duffer. I was like, I've heard it's very tough to get cast. I've just come. It's been a few months, so maybe, you know, I need to like.
You're doing
audition
ads
more.
basically.
I was just doing ads.
You were just auditioning for ads.
Just auditioning.
Not even films?
Not even films, because there was a lady I met called Amita Sehgal, and she was an ad film producer, and she told me actually that don't try and go to this Aram Nagar kind of auditions, because most of them don't really actually, at that point in time at
Right.
least,
They're not casting leads in any
they're
case.
not casting leads in any case. You'll go, you'll meet some sort of horrid elements, and you'll probably get disappointed and go back home.
Right.
So better do commercials, and if you're good, they'll come looking for you. And something about the way, I think she took out time and sat me down and got me coffee, and like, you know, for a kid who was nobody, something I think touched me, and I was like, you know, what she's saying has some sort of sense to it, and I have nothing to lose. I mean, it's a few months of my life, and I started doing a lot of commercials, so a lot of big brands and whatever. Suddenly, from like my first brand, I got paid 5,000 rupees. By the end of
yaar, मैं भी check कर लेता हूँ.
5,000 rupees, really? Or by
what
the
brand
end
was
of
it?
6 months, I was paid 1 lakh by the same company. So I was a bit, you know, like, oh, I got this.
Yeah.
And then when we did this ad, of course I've come because it's an ad, and now I'm a pro in ads, and of course like my 10th ad, and I'm wearing makeup, and Kashyap has come and saying, "Ye kya hai? Go wash your face." And I imagine me, no film, nothing, the audacity to say कि आपका पहला ad है, मैंने 10 किए. Now when I think about it, I'm like, I was such a duffer. Like, who says that? But I think that's what I guess worked.
But also, Anurag is that kind of guy, right? You can be,
He's
you
very
know,
cool.
yeah. He's a
Yeah,
cool,
I don't
cool.
think he or actually a lot of my directors, and I've been very fortunate to work with some very cool people, extremely talented, extremely good at what they do, but also they don't need to be worshipped. You know, some people can be a bit narcissistic. We've seen, and we know some of them.
Sure.
Those who shall not be named. But I think most of my directors and even co-stars I've worked with don't have that.
They treat you as an equal, as a colleague.
Yeah, and they're open to ideas, and it's a collaborative process, and it's really fun working with them.
So was Gangs going to be your first film?
No,
like, did you
actually.
like? There's something I saw on IMDb before coming here about some movie called Billa 2. If it's not true, then maybe somebody
It
should
is true.
correct
It is
that.
true. I was cast for that. I
What
had
is
done,
Billa 2?
Actually, very few people know about it. It was like a Dawn 2. So Dawn was Billa, and Dawn 2 was Billa 2 with Ajit sir, who actually
like a remake, Tamil remake of Dawn 2.
yes.
Oh, got it.
And I was cast for it, and we did the whole look test, contract, everything, and I even flew down to shoot for a day, and then for some reason I got replaced. I don't know what happened, but then years later, or almost 10 years later, I worked with Ajit sir on Valimai, and he's such a gracious, lovely gentleman. He actually walked up to me, and I was rehearsing in my head, how will I introduce myself? He said, how are you? You know, like, you have these conversations in your head, and he just walked up, and the first thing he said to me, I'm so sorry for what happened. I had nothing to do with it. And I said, but I didn't even expect you to remember. Like, it was so long back, and like, and he was like, no, but I had no idea, and like, whatever. So I said, it's perfectly okay. We were supposed to work together, maybe not then, but now, and I'm okay with that. And yeah, we had a lovely experience working with him. But what a lovely guy to remember and have the graciousness to do that. He didn't need to, but I think that's what makes him a superstar.
What about some movie with Atul Sabharwal?
That also is true.
Yeah.
That also is true. That actually was the first offer. So I was doing theatre, as I said, in Delhi, and I would do multiple things. So I would go and direct this play for these NGO kids. So this was my Gargi, DU, Kurta days.
Fab India?
Of course, Fab India.
Fab India, kuch paise de dena, bhai.
100%. Jhumkas and kajal and like, jhola bag and all that. So I would go direct plays.
Totally picture you right now.
Fully. I'm that girl, like girl rights and that kind of a thing. And then I would do a play with Amir Hussain in English theatre, and then work with an NK Sharma that was Act 1, and like, again, like a really, really prolific Hindi theatre group from. So I had this thing going. So I was quite.
You're a jhola wala.
I was a jhola wala, cool theatre, like
changing the
artsy vibes, fully. And I remember I did this play in Delhi in LTG, which was done by this group of kids called Jamghat, which I still support, by the way. And I did the play, and the next day I had to come to Bombay for another play with Amir Hussain. He was doing something for ITC called like a supper theatre kind of a thing. And I get a call, like a random call, and I answer, and some guy says, hi, my name is Tanmay Mohan. Hi, Tanmay.
Hi, Tanmay.
He says, I work with Amir Khan Productions, and we're making a film, and there's a very small part, but this part is supposed to be opposite him, but she comes from your kind of world. So I said, what, like, those theatre, working with NGO kids kind of a dunya. So I said,
realistic part.
Yeah. So I said, okay. And I thought it was just someone like doing masti with me. I'm like 19 years old. I live in Delhi. Like, my father sells kebabs. My mother's a housewife. Why will some production house like Amir Khan Productions
and opposite him,
like I'm just like, ये तो कोई देखो दोस्त बुद्धू बना रहा है. So I'm like, एक काम करना, Mr. Khan को बोल, मैं बॉम्बे में आके मिल लेती हूँ. And I put the phone down. Now next day I get a call saying, can you come to our office in Khar? Now I'm like, this is serious. Like, oh, this is happening. I didn't know where Khar was.
Didn't ask for OTP, na?
I have died. I've gone there. I mean, I saw Suchitra Pillai sitting there. So of course I'm from Delhi. I've gotten.
So she's also auditioning, I'm guessing.
She was just there. I don't know why she was there, but she was in office, and I got fully starstruck. Then I saw Imran Khan and Jani Tu had just come out, and I was like, oh my god! Like I have so many stories to tell my friends back home. Of course, one audition, it didn't happen. But then I thought to myself, in my typical worldly wise Delhi girl.
What was the audition for?
Tare Zameen Pe.
Oh wow!
There was a small girl, part which I think an actress, lovely Marathi actor called Shailja, ended up doing. Okay. It's not. I mean,
it's not Tiska.
No. It was another, like a much smaller part.
Right.
But of course, at that point in time, you were just like too excited for anything. But I thought, ये तन्मय बहुत interesting बंदा है. इससे दोस्ती जरूर करनी चाहिए. And then he was.
You took him out for a drink or no?
100%. We're still friends, and all of that, because I'm like, he's my contact now.
Right. At least you have someone in Bombay.
I have a contact which I must be friends with. And he then was assisting Atul Sabharwal, who was making this film called Junction with Abhay. Abhay Deol.
Okay.
And a few months later, they asked me to fly down, and I just needed an opportunity to come and hang with my friends in Bombay. So I just came. I didn't even tell my parents why I'm going. I said some college thing, and I've come and I've gone to the office. And
this for a pure audition.
Pure audition.
Would they pay you like to fly down if it's an audition, or it's up to you?
Nobody
you should be living.
No.
That's why people have to live in Bombay, right? You can't keep
100%.
doing this from another city.
But I feel like at that point in time, I was doing so much theatre. I would keep coming to Bombay a lot, case. Like Prithvi Theatre, like that kind of a thing.
Right.
So it
You'd
was
perform in any case.
Yeah, correct. So and I had some miles also. वो भी use कर लेते थे. So I had come for a day, and I thought I had a bunch of friends. We'll just hang for like 3-4 days, and I'll go back. And I went to the office. They said, "Yahin baith ke padh lo." So I sat over there, read the script, and they said, "Okay." Next day they called me saying, "We will test you." And the same day in the afternoon, they said, "Okay, you're on."
Oh wow.
So I was like, "Oh." But the film never got made. So,
Okay.
I mean, that was quite sad. And then I had to go back home. And by now, I was fully convinced that I think I've got a shot.
Right.
If I move, maybe I got what it takes. But now I had to convince my parents that how do
Yeah,
you...
because you bragged a role. Now it's another matter whether the movie gets made.
Which
right?
they didn't believe. They thought,
Right.
why will somebody cast you? Like,
Right.
I think it was quite the most audacious thing
But I
that
can
ever...
imagine parents kind of being wary of kids moving to another city. There are stories also.
100%.
Yeah.
They thought this was a prostitution racket. They were convinced. You know, now when I look back, I'm like, I really had no faith in my ability to, gauge anything for myself. But no, it took a bit of convincing and of course, my parents don't come from this world. Even now, I don't think they have too much understanding about like the ways of...
Nobody does, right? Even
No.
people who live here don't. I mean, to go back to Maharani, for instance, it's an entire show about politics, but real politic, or to put it another way, actual politics. But politics exists in every field, right?
Correct.
How is the politics in show business different from the politics that you
It's
portray?
very different. And I feel, no, in fact, I disagree. I feel nowadays everyone is so fully prepped, full army of PRs, stylists, manager, all of those things. And
It's not just about acting, right? That you could have done in Monday House also.
in fact, I think it's becoming less and less about acting and more about, I don't know, and I feel like somewhere the line between, for a lot of the newer actors, between being an influencer and being an actor is really blurring. And I don't think they really fully comprehend the difference. Like for starters, I don't know, like if any thought or effort is being put into actual training or
Right.
even speaking a language. Do you know what I mean? Like at least, like आप कौन सी भाषा में acting करते हो? Like I feel that is bare minimum, right? Even if it's English, like I mean,
Yeah.
at least then let's have that. But even that, and I feel like just to be popular shouldn't be a metric. And I feel because then, and which is unfortunately we are seeing that, like like there's a certain thing to just being viral, and hence that being like a reason for you to get cast in something, but that doesn't normally always like end up really well, because acting prowess and being famous for just being famous are two completely different things, and nothing wrong with that. I think it's perfectly cool to be famous for being famous, but
it may not be long lasting though. You could be irrelevant in 3 years.
I mean, Kim K has really made it work for her, so it depends on what you want, but don't try and be an actor then, because then that's a very different thing. But India mein sabko actor banna hai, because I feel it's seen as the lowest hanging fruit. But it's really not. It really is not.
Yeah, but beyond acting, in order to survive in a field where there's so much competition,
Correct.
you may want to lobby for a particular role to land a part. This particular director is doing this particular film. Okay, let me check on this person. That's a real thing too, right?
Oh, it's tough. It's very tough. I still feel I'm still figuring it out, because because I feel even today, after 10-12 years of working, having a body of work, working with a certain set of people, I still do feel a lot of opportunities don't come to me. And you only have to look at my filmography to know what those opportunities are. And I still feel I don't have access to a lot of rooms. And not that it's a problem, because I don't feel I came to Bombay being like, okay, I only need to work with ABC. No, I think I came here because I wanted to become an actor and I wanted to explore something about myself. And if certain people feel like they want to collaborate with me, then so be it. But is there not a certain kind of gatekeeping that happens? That would be false. And I feel
there are coteries, right? And there are coteries everywhere.
100%. And of course, people should be allowed to work with whoever they are comfortable with and they are friends with and all of that. But then, is that not leading to, like, I don't know, people not perhaps going and watching films anymore because they can probably see through this? That's also happening, and they're also calling it out.
Okay, so in that case, also luck plays a big part, right? Besides the coterie, it's also like, the general sense one gets about professional success, and that's my little gyan in general in life to anyone who is younger, is that, you got to be good at something and hope that someone hires you. It's pretty much as simple as that sometimes. And you can give this multiple names, like it's only movie industry is called Godfather. It's called an employer everywhere else, right?
Or the mafia.
Or the mafia. You really want to go that direction, I can see.
No,
huh?
I don't. No, not at all. Sorry, I didn't mean. I meant like
but
the
let's say
Mario
in that
Puzo
sense,
reference,
in that sense, would it be fair to say that, say, someone like an Anurag Kashyap, and it could just be happenstance, right? That he's making his first ad film, you happen to be in that particular ad, he sees you a particular way, and then casts you in a film that he's writing at that time, and then he gives you a 3-film deal. So in that sense,
No, there was a 3-film deal.
There was no 3-film deal?
Not at all. And where is the 3rd film?
That's what I was wondering. It's there on your Wikipedia, so that needs to be changed.
No.
So I was wondering. So then I thought maybe it was two, like Gangster 1, Gangs 2.
No.
And then Love Shav.
Love Shav was the 2nd film, but no, there was no 3-film deal.
Right.
There was one little contract for which they paid me 65,000 rupees.
65,000 rupees is what you got paid for Gangs of Wasseypur.
That is what I got for both parts.
Now I'm feeling rich.
Yeah,
for the first time.
see, that's what I'm saying. we were put in Swati International.
Oh man!
And we could not complain because the director and Nawaz was staying in a very, very bleak guest house just opposite Swati International, which at least was a hotel.
Was that also international?
That was too international. The only star on that film was Manoj sir, who was staying at the Ramada, and he was very nice to us because every once in a while he would invite all the kids and saying, "Aao, tumhe main lunch karata hu." So we would go to eat like 5-star khana.
You know, that's true in the sense that now when you look back, and it's been what, 13 years, one doesn't realize all these guys became big only after.
Yeah.
Like even a Rajkumar Rao or a
Yeah.
Jyoti Palawat,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
your first film.
Yeah.
It's incredible how many people, even
How many
Pankaj
directors?
Tripathi.
How many directors? Neeraj Gevan,
Yeah.
Vasan Bala, Shlok Sharma, Anubhuti Kashyap. I'm just like, it's
It's an institution.
crazy.
That film is an institution. Vicky
Jay Mehta.
Kaushal was
Vicky
an
Kaushal.
assistant
Yes.
in that film. It's
Yeah.
incredible. It's not just about how great that film is or turned
Yeah.
out to be. It's also how many things that, you know.
Actually, 2012 in general, okay, one is of course Gangs, and it's iconic because just the number of people
Yeah.
and talent that one film has given to the business. I
Yeah.
don't think any other film.
Not since. Yeah.
Not since or
Yeah.
before. I don't know.
Before, I would think Satya to some extent.
Okay,
if you look at
perhaps.
all these people who were starting out in
Okay,
Satya.
fair.
Before that, maybe Bandit Queen to some extent. And before that, Gandhi is another fountain.
Okay, in my lifetime. And also in my lifetime, 2012 was such a seminal year for films. We were just talking about it the other day, and I'm like, look at it: Gangs of Wasseypur, Kai Poche, Student of the Year, Kahani, Barfi, and I'm sure I'm forgetting quite a few. They all have come in the same year.
It's an inflection point.
It's quite crazy,
Yeah.
right? Like, look at the kind of films that came out in the same year, and
how many new talents.
and how many new talents,
Yeah.
and how many like diverse kinds of films and genres, and they all did well. They all had box office numbers. They all had Vicky Donor. They all had critical success. I remember because we all had shot for this cover. 2012 book
The
cover
debutants
class
of the year.
The
Class of
class of
2000 Oh, really?
2012. Yeah, it was quite cool. So there's Ayushman, Sushant, Alia, me, Pariniti. I'm like, this is
Varun,
quite crazy. Varun, it's
Siddharth.
quite crazy, right?
Unbelievable.
But I feel since then somehow we've not really managed to really have that, you know, in terms of.
We had Abhishek Banerjee on this conversation series. Actually, no, the Bombay Film Story. That's another one that we do, where he's talking about same thing to do with OTT. That there was, I think he put a cutoff year. I think he put it as 2021. Lots of people came in, and now the gates have closed.
But it's really
Suddenly,
true.
that's what happens, right? Sometimes
I don't know
it's
if
just
the gates
timing.
I don't know if the gates have closed, but I feel like till that point in time, and I feel like there was such great content happening. You know, right from like the first one being Sacred Games to like
Yeah.
every year there was something coming in, like, oh my god, such great writing, what great performances, what like
You did
new people-
Leela, which
Yeah.
probably can't be made anymore.
Yeah,
but never
yeah.
matter.
Now you don't want to go there. So, but now I feel like we're not making those kind of radical things anymore. We're not making anything even remotely interesting anymore. You know, maybe okay, you'll have a season 3, 4 of something.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is so
That's
it's old IPs being like taken
Yeah.
forward, but nothing
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
So you're sort of like, what has really happened? It can't be that the creative juices only of the entire city have dried up. And now I don't know, for some strange reason, and I'm going to say this out loud,
Yes,
I feel
please
like
do.
hate watching or cringe watching is an actual metric that people are celebrating, and I find that really deeply offensive because, you know, OTT was supposed to be a place which pushed narratives.
Yeah.
And it really like redefined storytelling. It can't be that you are equating it to watching like, I don't know, cat videos on Reels. Like there has to be differentiation in terms of what we are watching, right?
True.
So it's actually quite alarming, to be honest. Like
They just think it's safe though. At some level, right? In terms of green lighting. अच्छा ये चल चुका है तो चलो fourth
नहीं
season
वो
बनाओ.
ठीक है, चलो मैं उसको नहीं बोली, मेरे को नया तो बनाओ कितना. I'm sure like मतलब literally I meet so many people out there with such interesting ideas. But they just need perhaps the right kind of people to believe in them and to support them. And you don't know then sky really is the limit. But I don't think that kind of being thought is being put behind it. I know the drive, this thing is to get more numbers. I think that's always the reason why certain choices are made in terms of programming.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's also really landing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's also really true.
If by that metric, Scam 92 would not be made right now, right? Because what are you basing it on? There's no precedence to something like that. And now, of course, there'll be multiple scams because the first one worked, right?
Yeah, which is great. And we all loved the first scam. I remember that was the reason why I got the Sony Live this thing. And I was blown away just because, I don't understand scams and finance or whatever, that world really well. But even for a lay person like me, it was so simply, cinematically told. And it was really engaging. Of course, it gave us the lovely Pratik Gandhi, who's such a fine talent. Yeah.
You may not understand scams, but you certainly understand money.
Yes.
We're looking at your career post 2012. You got paid 65,000 rupees. I was watching some video of you with Farah Khan, where you have a freaking massive ass Juhu bungalow with a private pool. Well done, you.
Thank you. I've not bought
Congratulations.
it. I've not bought
I saw
it
that.
yet.
I must congratulate her when I meet her.
Thank you. I will take that. It's not my father's money. It's my money.
Right.
And I've not bought it. It's rental, but we will buy it soon. I'm putting it out there in the universe, inshallah. But it's a pool.
So do you also have like that story कि मैं बम्बई आई थी 500 रुपए लेके और आज देखो मेरा मन्नत और I think yours is called Sukoon, am I right? Shukr, okay.
Shukr. नहीं 500 रुपए के नहीं आई थी. मतलब we were always an upper middle class family. My father has a chain of restaurants, but we have a very large family. So we are not. A lot of people think we have a lot of money. मतलब we were well off. We never had any need of anything. But when I moved here, I also had that thing, I'm not going to take money from my father. So I think after the first couple of years, I asked him to support me. But then after that, once I started making money, I have never had to ask him for money. And I've been pretty good with, saving money. I understand saving, like a good middle class girl. And my first
saving
house,
as in like
पैसा बचाओ कम खर्च करो.
अच्छा वैसा, not like invest well.
मैं पहला जब यहाँ पे पहले कुछ महीने में जुहू में एक पीजी में रही थी. It was ऐसा नहीं, it was not that it was dirty or whatever, it was quite lovely, but it was shared
Asha Chandra. There's one Asha Chandra that everyone's lived in.
No,
no.
It was very nice actually. What is that lane? It's literally before HDFC, way before. It's in that little gully, Sukhveer or something it's called. I'm forgetting right now. And it was very nice. It was quite lovely. There was a lovely family so they had 2 apartments, and this was where the family lived, and this is where some of the girls were given. So there were 4 women sharing it. It wasn't.
You had a room to yourself?
No, I didn't have a room to myself. We were sharing a room, but it was also just for a few months because I wanted to like rough it out.
Yeah.
Wo bhi ideas hote hain ki I want to prove myself, kind of a thing. But the Juhu that was my first introduction to Juhu. तो मैं तब मुझे पता चला था कि जितने मूवी स्टार्स होते हैं वो जुहू में रहते हैं और बंगले में रहते हैं. तो मैंने कहा जब तक बंगले में नहीं रहेंगे तब तक legitimately मूवी स्टार नहीं बन सकते हैं. So that was, I think, the...
How important do you think privilege is when it comes to pursuing the arts, in the sense that it is, by its very nature, not something that you will necessarily land, right? We hear the success stories, but it's a very unpredictable field, regardless of whether you're an actor or a musician, etc. How important do you think is to have some element of privilege, because you still have rents to pay, you still have to make a living. It'll be easier for you to even pursue your art in the sense of, or the other side is, man, you have no plan B. That means you'll give everything you have.
Correct.
You have a hunger that somebody else may not have. What do you think on this?
Complex. Privilege helps. I mean, no one's complaining. No one's complaining. But is privilege everything? That's also not entirely true. I feel like if you're not talented, at some point or the other, the privilege is going to run out. But does it not help you in the initial access, initial opening of doors? Definitely. It took me 10 years to be here today. But perhaps with the same set of everything going or not going for me, if maybe I had a bit of more privilege or a bit more access, things would have been far easier. And that's not lost on me. Having said that, I'm still here, I'm still working, and I intend to be here, and I intend to have children who will be in this business and take the legacy forward, and I will make sure that they take it forward.
That's a good thing to say, right? In the sense that you mostly, let's say a lawyer's kid becomes a lawyer because they've seen a lawyer do really well.
Correct.
And that's a good sign of a profession that you want the next generation to do the same thing. right? In your sense, of course, you didn't have parents who were in the movies, but you always wanted to be an actor.
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 How did that work? Like, did you follow someone in particular? Like, did you have someone as an idol? यार एक दिन श्रीदेवी माधुरी दीक्षित
See, वो तो बचपन से I think
Which one is it?
You grow up on cinema. Madhuri Dixit.
Madhuri Dixit.
But I feel like what really I think was a tipping point for me is that when I was in college I started doing theatre. And I just did it as like fun and extracurricular,
Right.
whatever. But then when you start performing in Gargi, and I was Ramsock president, etc. And when
Whoa.
and when you start like really absorbing the appreciation and the applause, that when something shifts inside you. It's like a little, like
It's a कीड़ा?
like it's a कीड़ा. It's like a little वो अंदर चक्री सी कुछ घूमती है and you're like, I like this. This is good. This feels really good in my system. So yeah, I think perhaps my first reason to do it was just the applause and just how the appreciation.
The dopamine hit, right?
The
Which is
hit-
very different from a like on Instagram.
No,
It's more real.
It's more
You can
real.
see
It's
it.
like people want to talk to you. They want to walk up to you. They want to tell you that you made them laugh or you made them cry, and that's like wow. That's a strange kind of power. Even today, like when I meet people, and they walk up to me and they say a dialogue from a movie, you know, or they say, "Oh, aapka wo scene" or whatever. And even if they don't like it, what I really take away from that moment is like, it affected you.
Right.
You know, it really
Right.
moved you. It made a difference to your being. You think about it. Because I know, like, while growing up, there's certain, like, even now, I can go back and I can hear a song and I can tell you, oh, I remember the time when I saw it. I remember what I was doing on that day. I remember how it made me feel. And that's like, that's some
Like
strange
you're
kind of
living
power.
rent free in someone's brain, at least for that moment.
Yeah. And you make them feel something without ever having met them.
Right.
You may never meet that person. You may never interact. It's a strange kind of a connection that you have. And I find that very, very beautiful and very, very, I don't know, powerful. So I think it's that.
So what was that Madhuri Dixit connection in your head in
Just
that
the way
sense?
she danced, man.
Just the way she danced?
I thought she was just like, I think every girl has like, you know, lifted their shirt up and tied into a little knot and, you know, tried to do the whole ek do teen kind of a thing. Yeah, I think she's just quite phenomenal. And I think like I was quite mesmerized by her.
And then in Ded Ishq Kiya, you play her lover, as it were.
Good choice.
Great choice, of course. But hey, I'm just thinking about
See,
it.
dreams do come true. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Is that what you wish for? Love interest of...
No, not love
That is the best
interest.
you can get.
No, not love
In
interest.
the sense of-
but I definitely wanted to, like a part of me wanted to breathe the same air. The part
Yeah.
of me wanted to understand the enigma. I think when you're really attracted to people, you really want to understand what they do, why they do. And I just completely relished and enjoyed the experience of working with her on Ded Ishq Kiya. Of course, loved Ishq Kiya.
Yeah.
Was extremely happy to be part of the sequel. And then they told me that this is the rest of the cast, and I was like, you have to be kidding me. Like, I mean, this is really stuff that dreams are made of. And just lovely to work with Madhuri ma'am. She's as gorgeous as it comes, inside and out. And
But that angle, you know, it's kind of inspired by, you know, Ali
Lihaf, yes,
Isma Chugdai's. She's a hardcore mainstream heroine
Yeah.
over years, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how did that work out in terms of when you discussed the role, because that's also as an audience one didn't see that coming, right? That particular angle in this. And for those who've not seen the film, I guess just pause and go 10 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
But you know it's a twist. It's a
Yeah.
twist in the film. When you discussed it, what was the discussion like? Like, are we doing this?
So I auditioned for it.
Okay.
And Chaube and Hani Chehan,
Yes.
you know, they tested me for it, and because I can act like I can speak Urdu, I don't speak Urdu, but I can do acting. कि मैं बोल लेती हूँ, नुक्ते लगा लेती हूँ, वो मेरा है, नकल उतार लेती हूँ. तो I managed to convince them to cast me in it. So of course I was too junior to really get into these kind of discussions.
Right.
I was just happy कि okay.
Yeah,
and then
that you're in the movie. Yeah.
I'm in the movie,
Yeah.
and then I turn up for the table read, and the entire cast is there. And for me, it was always clear. But then, and Chaube and I had this discussion later, and of course, I got to know later that in the earlier draft, there was even supposed to be a kiss between the two. But that perhaps might have been a bit too much.
Right.
But Chaube was always like, you go. He's going to kill me. He's like, you go do your thing. And I'm like, okay.
I'm a Madhuri fan anyway.
I'm anyway Madhuri fan. I'm the full lattu over. I'll go for it. So I really went for it.
But was there a discussion? What was Madhuri Dixit thinking in terms of, like, did she have any inputs? Ki yaar, you know, she's Madhuri Dixit.
Yeah, she's amazing. But I learned a lot of the time, and I'm assuming the time that she would come from, I would always ask about stories of how things were when she started out, and like, you know, and of course she had a different perspective, which was very, very like eye-opening for me. And I think the school that they came from, it was always, she's very like proper. Kya karna hai, ye karna hai. Like, she's very matter of fact. I don't think she wastes a lot of her creative energy into endless faltu discussions. And I think that's what is incredible. I remember there was this one day, all four of us were in the scene. So Nasir Saab, Barsi, ma'am and myself, and of course हम तो बड़े excited ये करते हैं और ये करते हैं and Chaube must have been अंदर से like tearing his hair out कि तब तीनों चढ़ गए मेरे पे. She has just kept sitting over there. And then she just looked at the director saying, "What would you like me to do?" and suddenly I तो felt very small. मैंने कहा ये तुम जो उछल के जो अपना excitement दिखा रहे हो, this is you know like how the seniors do it. And I think she just managed. She just has that grace in on screen and in real life. And she's this very simple Maharashtrian lady who talks about her kids and is actually quite simple at heart. Actually, that actually was for me was very, very endearing.
Right. Very different from the world you came from in the sense of theatre, right? Which is all about improvisation.
Yeah.
It's all about being spontaneous. It's all about putting yourself out there. What was that like for you as an actor? There are two people you mentioned, N.K. Sharma, you mentioned Amir Raza Hussain. Amir Raza Hussain, I remember meeting, he has a wild temper. He can be quite...
Yes,
and even the stuff you hear about N.K. Sharma is the same thing, right? He never gives compliments. I think we had... Imtiaz Ali on the show. He's given a long passage for those who want to check it out. Sit With Hitlist, Imtiaz Ali speaking about N.K. Sharma a lot.
Really?
Yeah, in that particular episode. I mean, these are guys from another world, right? I mean, they also chose to stay away from show business. They really love theatre for the theatre's sake, right? What was that like for you?
He's been one human being who's really changed my life. I can talk endlessly about him because he's been my first teacher in that sense.
You're talking about Amir Raza Hussain or
Mr. N.K. Sharma. Amir, of course, I worked with. I assisted him.
Yeah.
I even worked as his casting director. And of course, I mean, God bless his soul. Like he's, you know, he had a very colorful temper, but also like, I mean, he taught me a lot of things. But I would say my first teacher, like who I consider like someone who's really impacted my life is Mr. N.K. Sharma. And he's like, you know, one of those really Chekhovian characters. Like, I don't know what to say. Like he's very atrangi. Like you can't really explain his process. It's wild. It's not something you can. If I tell you, you'll be like, "Huh, ye kya hai?" But there's a method to it because I think his philosophy is I don't make actors. I make people be who they are. You know, I think sometimes because of the way upbringing or background or whatever, we don't even express who we are fully. You know, that self-actualization or who you are.
More in touch with yourself.
Right. अब आपकी personality क्या है? आप पहले वो तो समझो. And I think somewhere his work is engineered towards that to for you to express yourself fully as a person before you even get into like characterization and this, that and the other. Because a lot of kids who came to him at that point in time, because there was him and then there was Mr. Barry John, and of course all the cool kids went to Barry.
The Angrezi lot went to Barry
John. And उनके पास सारे आते थे बिहार, उत्तर प्रदेश के लड़के, मतलब बहुत shy, you know, perhaps not from very like affluent backgrounds, but wanted to be an actor. So for him, it was, and he just worked with them. There was no like differentiation in terms of someone like me who would get off a car and a guy who's coming on a bus and everyone's getting together and like working together. I think, and he's of course, matlab full leftist.
But that's the beauty of theatre, right? As against movies, which is the most capitalist medium of arts, right? There's hierarchy.
Right.
There's no hierarchy in theatre in that sense. There's no
hierarchy in theatre. Yeah, no, not at all. And he has very, I mean, his unusual methods, of course, has a tempo, all of that. But like I'll tell you a very fun story of how he understands the human personality really well. So I was at one point, I was like, my parents are not letting me go to Bombay. This is never going to happen. And I went to rehearsal one day. I said, I think I should just go to Kasturi.
What did you call him? Panditji?
Panditji. Panditji. Panditji, or actually, whenever I call him, oh, darling.
It's a very Bollywood word though.
Yeah, and he's sorry, Panditji. He's like, he's a very young guy. But doesn't he you look that young? So I always tease him a little bit, and I always take great pride in the fact that I think I was his most favorite student. I mean, and obviously the boys hated because I was possibly one of the two girls that were there in Act 1 that point in time, and I would really get away with a lot because
Right.
मैं लड़की हूँ ना. I would use that.
Right.
And I was the only student at that point in time who was allowed to work outside. Like otherwise he would be like, if you're working with me, then you only work in Act 1. But I would still work with Mirza Hussain and I was doing my thing. So I said, I'm very upset and my parents are not, I'm going to go to the hills and I want to run away. This is rubbish or whatever. Like, you know, this typical angsty conversations. And he actually had a very interesting conversation with me. He said, you, तुम्हारी problem क्या है? He said, तुम बचपन से ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा outgoing और outspoken लड़की रही हो. So I said, what do you mean? आप ही तो बोलते हो कि, you know, you have to... I said, बात समझो. He said, parents, they always are very scared when their kids are too outgoing because they feel like बाहर चले जाएंगे, बिगड़ जाएंगे, गलत संगति में पड़ जाएंगे. It's a very typical...
You are the galat sangati.
Don't tell mom that. My mother didn't know this. She said, if you were a shy kind of a demure person, then parents are always like, बाहर जाया करो, दोस्त बनाया करो, theater क्यों नहीं करते हो? So I'm like, you know, this guy is on to something. So I went back home and for like a week I pretended to be really morose. My parents got really worried. कि क्या हो गया? Are you like depressed or whatever? And then I said, no, I want to. And then of course the whole moving to Bombay conversation happened, and that's when they really sort of agreed. But there's something about like understanding human behavior that I think he taught me. Introduction to books, gossip, politics. Just every day would go there at 2 o'clock and be there till 9 after college and just hang and talk about everything under the sun. And I think that education and also that confidence to have an opinion, right or wrong, but to be able to express it, and that's perfectly okay.
So that's you, and then you have a brother, and he followed in your footsteps. Was he also into theatre or
modeling?
We're talking about Saqib, of course.
Yes, modeling.
Yeah.
He was into modeling. Of course, he has to copy me in everything. So he followed. But then he's my senior, and then he debuted with YRF. So yeah, he got the bigger launch.
Is he? Are you the younger sibling or?
He's the younger sibling.
He's the younger sibling, right? How is he your senior?
Because his film debut, he debuted before me.
Oh really?
Yeah. So मुझसे friendship करोगे came in October 2011.
Which is a YRF film.
Which is a YRF film, and I came in an Anurag Kashyap film. I think it was the next year, March 2012.
So did it work out well for him?
I think so. I mean, he's had his fair share of ups and downs, and that this is probably a conversation with him how he sees his life. But I think a lot of time, energy, and effort that both of us are putting right now is towards a company that we both have called Salim Siblings, where we are first generation producers trying to make some content.
So that Double XL was both of you producing it, right?
Double XL was the first one. Single Salma is the second. But now we've sort of gone for rebranding of the company. So next year we'll have another film coming out, which we've already shot for, called Baby Do Die Do. Baby Karmarkar.
How to remember this? Baby Do
Karmarkar?
Karmarkar.
Do.
Okay,
Die,
got it.
Do.
Yeah.
You remember, you're smart like that.
No, in that sense, dumb charades ke liye acha hai. It'll be a pretty easy one to do.
Do, die, do.
But so when you produced Double XL, it seemed to me that that's a film that you really wanted to make, in the sense of that's the point you wanted to make, and you decided to produce. Is that what happened?
That's the issue I really want to talk about, for sure. Perhaps if I were to make that film today, there are lots of learnings. I would make it slightly differently. I would make it more braver. But I feel like I'm very proud of that film. I always will be. Also, for what I put myself mentally, physically for that part, I put on 20 kgs for that part, and it was torture trying to lose that over the next 3 years. I remember like people would look at me, my manager saying, "Iska to ho gaya." मतलब ये तो पतली नहीं होने वाली वापस. So there's bye bye.
And so many actors do this, and it's so hard for people in general, right? I mean, you're not elastic in that sense. You can't just become.
And it messes up your health also. But I mean, like, but I just felt like because of early days when I started working, there was so much, conversation around appearance. Even now, there's so much conversation around appearance and size and what you're wearing and all of that. However, today I still feel like I'm in that place where I would call out as somebody but at that point I didn't. And I wish I had the understanding I had today, where I'd be like, excuse me, I'm just a young actor trying to make my mark. It's anyway very hard. You're not helping.
Right.
And it's rude what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the world would be a better place if you didn't do it. I wish.
And very juvenile also.
Yeah.
वो लंबा है तो लंबू, छोटा है तो whatever, मोटा है. I mean, it's kids do this because they're not that bright at that age. Yeah.
Correct. I mean, that's media.
Don't blame it on media.
You said it. I did not.
Hey, but you produced the
film. Is that
film.
your promo line?
I don't know. So far, I think I can think of a few, but the one that should definitely go is Samsung थोड़े पैसे दे देना भाई.
I love it.
And 1/4 me, 3/4 you.
Love it.
So,
Love it. Done.
Sticking with that for now.
I did say 10% though.
10%.
You've forgotten.
I thought 1/4 was me.
अच्छा चल ठीक है. I like you.
Thank you. So you produced this film. You produced it with your brother, but he was not in the movie.
No, he was not in the
Why? But didn't see a part.
I think
that was good.
it was a choice. It was a choice. I think also like we are developing other things that he's going to act in, and then on those ones I will be fully more hands-on producer.
Right.
But I think it's a choice that he has made, and he really enjoys doing that as well. And I feel I'm going to speak on his behalf. I think because I've had this conversation with him. I feel like he's in that mental space right now where he feels he wants to create an ecosystem where he tries to give other people those opportunities that he feels he did not get. You know, and I think he's on that, is in that mental space right now.
I think there was Zafar Iqbal, the actor in the film, right, with Sonakshi. Am I getting the name
Zahir
right?
Iqbal.
Zahir Iqbal.
They got married.
They got married. Yeah.
Yes.
So I saw it much later. I'm like, is this the same person?
Same guy. Same guy.
Were they dating at the time? How does it matter now? They're married
Actually,
now. Who cares?
Married now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were dating at that time. Fully. The torture handling both of them. How many people are going to hate me after this interview? God, I'm really going to walk out.
I mean, this is.
I mean, they are married now, so I really
exactly,
can. Yeah,
exactly.
Fully they were dating.
Exactly.
It was very cute, and it was a fun set. And Mahat, who's opposite me, is a wonderful actor, and we just all became really good friends during the making of that film. And of course,
it shows on screen when you guys are hanging out. You can tell that these people actually hung out.
Like every day, we would although we all had separate cars, we would wait for
everyone to leave together.
In the same car.
Right.
So if one person had to go do potty, we were all waiting. Saying, "हम जाके क्या करेंगे? तू late आएगा तो साथ ही चलते." So it was like a thing.
So that is your Salim sibling production.
No, that was Element 3. So we rebranded the company. Yes.
Okay.
The earlier company was called Element 3. Now we've rebranded the company. It's called Salim Siblings. So now from Baby Do Die Do, the films that we'll be making is that. It's because we had another partner and that exit happened. So now we wanted to just make sure that
it's just the two of you now.
It's just the two of us now.
Okay, I have a question for you. You are Huma Qureshi. Your brother is Saqib Salim.
Right.
Your siblings, why do you have separate last names?
Huma Salim Qureshi.
Okay.
Saqib Salim Qureshi. These are our full names.
Oh.
Now, Huma Salim is a rather not very... He doesn't have a zing to it as a movie star. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like Huma Qureshi aa rahi hai. It's got a little thing to it. And I think...
Being Huma.
Being Huma. So, I don't know.
That would have stayed anyway, huh?
Yeah. So, I like the sound of Huma Qureshi. And I think Saqib Salim has a nicer zing to it. And he always wanted to use my dad's name. Salim is my father's name. So, Saqib was always... He wanted to use dad's name.
Tell us a bit about your dad.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Salim, as it were, who's raised two children who are both actors.
Can you
imagine? He also want to be an actor?
He did actually.
Oh, he did?
He did tell me. When he was trying to dissuade me from coming to Bombay, he was like, "Arey, beta, you should do MBBS or do MBA, do anything, join the family business.
Do a real job.
What is this?" मुझे भी लगता था बचपन में कि बॉम्बे भाग जाओ, दिलीप कुमार बन जाओ, but ऐसे नहीं होता.
Oh.
So, so I was like,
contemplated at some point.
I was like, really? You thought about it, huh? But no, I think, my dad is, I know everyone says that, but for me, he really is my hero. And I think what my relationship with him is, I think everyone in my family is envious of. Because जब भी कुछ dad से करवाना होता है, तो I'm the one who has to have that conversation. Because
there's always a favorite child, now.
I'm the favorite child, for sure. For dad, 100%. And for mom, it's Saqib. But for dad, it's always, I feel like with him, like he'll always back me. Like I've never seen my father question me ever. He's like, tu kar legi. Like he'll always back me, saying you'll figure it out. Like he doesn't feel the need to mansplain me. He doesn't feel the need to like treat me like a child. He'll always be like, okay, what do you think we should do? Okay, do it.
Right.
My mother still would be like, she'll get into that whole thing and she'll be a mother.
Yeah.
In the most worried sense, but my father, I think, has always given that, and I find that very remarkable because my father didn't have too much education. He was the second eldest of like 8 brothers and 2 sisters, so a rather large family. And he started working very early because my grandfather died, and then he was responsible for this family. But no, I think for a person who did not have the luxury of a lot of education, he's a very, very progressive guy, and he gave us the best opportunity that he could afford at that point in time. And when he couldn't, and I know when we were growing up, and Salim's as a restaurant was just coming up. It started from Little Kebab
I've
shop.
heard about this, yes.
It's very famous, and the food is amazing. And if you go take my name, there you get a discount.
I'll carry this video. It's like, guys, I know her. This is not AI.
And if you just take my name, we'll give you a discount. They're used to it.
I'm sure now people go there and take
Yeah.
her
अरे हम
name.
दोस्त हैं
मेरे को
उसके।
दिखाना पड़ेगा कुछ भाई.
हाँ, कि देखो
Proof मांगता है.
बैठ के कॉफी पिए हमने साथ में, दोस्त है मेरी, हाँ, वैसे वाला. क्या I have lost my chain
The
of thought
Salim's,
only now.
the restaurant chain. Is it chain or is it
There
one?
are about 5 of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, chotu.
Right.
But basically kebab, nihari, paratha, biryani, that kind of food.
Are you like into cooking? Is that your thing?
I am into eating.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
And I have like a father who has a chain of restaurants, and I have enough people around me who are really good chefs.
Is he into cooking? Is
He is. He is into cooking, and in fact, he taught my mother how to cook when they got married. They had a love marriage. My mom's Kashmiri and my dad is from Delhi. So when they got married, she didn't know how to cook. And it's a famous family story how she put pani in bhindi, and my father was like, okay, let me teach you how korma is made. And now, of course, she's amazing. And now we have this amazing blend of Mughlai and Kashmiri cuisine in the house, which is very
like
staple.
Rizwan plus
Rista, Gushtaba. These are classical things. But like I feel also like what a lot of people, Kashmiri cuisine is also like the haq and the sag and the that kind of like food and just the way they use sauf in the food or whatever. It's very simple actually, barring the vazwan.
Is there a recipe that you have? Why I'm asking this. You don't have to give this, but I love watching these reels where there are interviews of people going on. Usually Jackie Shroff, and he's saying, "आप इसको काटो, उसमें कुछ ये डालो," and there'll be like this video of that thing being made.
So, let me comfortable. No, I feel like I love eating. But I think नहीं मैं रेसिपी नहीं बताऊंगी यार हमारी कुछ फैमिली की सीक्रेट्स हैं ऐसे बता देंगे तो
So you go to Salim's and try it out, right?
Or my house.
Or your house.
We make the best.
Your Juhu bungalow. Shukr.
Gratitude.
On Shukrwar, I'm coming to Shukr, man, to try some of your kebabs.
I can't believe what I've done to you. I would never think you would cast a joke like that. What is in this coffee? On Shukrwar, I'm coming to Shukr. Who are you?
Clearly having fun.
No.
And thank you so much for this. But I have to say, in terms of channeling all that world that you belong to, in the sense of watching the restaurant run from close quarters, clearly, where you used it was Tarla, right? And there is Tarla who cooks for a living.
The unfortunate part, although I love that movie, I love the love I get for that movie. People watch it now when they come back on a long haul flight and they call me saying, "Oh my God, we didn't even know it was you. What is that transformation?" And I said, it's called acting. That's what actually we are supposed to do. No, but I think, and I say this with all humility, if everyone ever had a doubt with how good an actor I was, you should watch Tadla, is because I am supposed to look at chicken and be like, disgusting.
Yeah, and there's a scene when you enter and your husband, I think,
he's eating chicken,
he's having chicken, you're losing your mind there. Yeah, that's a beautiful scene.
Thank you. And Piyush, the director, the credit goes to him. But I remember being like, "Kya kara rahe ho mujhse? Yaar, I'm a hardcore carnivore. Like, this is what I do. My family does for a living, and I'm supposed to make faces and mutton and chicken and be like, batata." And I'm just like, what? In which world does potato win over chicken and mutton? Not mine, for sure.
Tarla Dalal's world.
Tarla Dalal was. But of course, honor to play her. And I feel like, again, when that film came to me, and also because of Maharani, because I think Ashwini and Nitish sir, they saw Maharani, and that was one of the first few calls I got saying, "We thought you were spectacular in Maharani, and there's a script we've been developing, and we want to bring it to you, and please be our Tarla." And I said, with great honor and pleasure, because honestly, she really was a trailblazer, and I'm so excited to play like these kind of real women characters, visceral, and I don't know, just authentic people.
Yeah.
And I think she, back in the day when nobody
Will be
frickin',
yeah.
nobody frickin' even knew the meaning of the word feminist, she was a feminist.
Without
right?
quite knowing
Without quite
it is
knowing
who she
it.
was,
The first women to go out and work and understand what these rules were and stay at home husbands and like, okay, you have a career where the family still sorts itself out around this new dynamic. I think that's so brilliant. So brilliant.
So that was Nitesh Tiwari you mentioned.
He produced it.
Oh, okay.
Piyush directed it.
Piyush
Gupta.
Piyush Gupta.
First film.
First film. Wow. Has he made anything since?
Not that
we know of.
No.
Right. I think it was a well-directed film as well.
Yeah, lovely film. I really had a blast working on that
lovely
one.
True story and
very
both
warm.
not there anymore in the world, right? I think both the Dalalas are no more.
I mean, I met the children and it was strange because they came on our set and they wanted to meet me and they all are obviously all silver haired and everything, and then they're looking at me saying, "You are our mother," and I said, "Sorry, uncle, not really, but yes, I'm playing your mother." नहीं बोलना चाहिए ना ये.
But that's what you told them.
But it's true.
Okay, speaking of directors, now that I know this Piyush Gupta you said, right? And I think we should look out for his next work. What?
No, she's looking at me making eyes. I'm scared
it's
now.
It's totally fine, yeah.
Okay, we'll discuss later.
So, what will we discuss later?
What?
We will not discuss anything later.
I know we won't. I will tell her something. She doesn't stop staring at me so I can have a conversation with you.
So, in terms of directors, here's something I noticed about your filmography, and I think we've discussed a fair bit already, and we're coming to the end of the conversation almost. Is there are a couple of films that you've done, I think, essentially because you wanted to work with those directors. And it could well be, and that's how life should be. It's a collection of experiences to begin with. For instance, in Michael Winterbottom's Trishna, which would be what is called a special appearance, or like a walk-on part. Item song.
My first item song.
Your first item song. I think this is even before
Gangs release.
Even before Gangs release, right?
Vicky Kaushal and I dancing in an item song in a Michael Winterbottom film.
You were done it just for Michael Winterbottom, right?
100%. Yeah.
Then there is, of course, Army of the Dead. That's Zack Snyder. You were done it for the director.
Obviously.
Made DC Comics, like Superman, Man of Steel, 300, and of course, the original that Dawn of the Dead. Am I saying Dawn of the Dead? Yeah. Hey, by the way, in the movie, you see everyone goes inside because they want to get the loot.
I love you. Thank you. Yes, come, let's address it.
Yeah. So that's what happens. The film, all those who have not seen it, it's on Netflix, where there is the army of mercenaries who go inside. There's going to be a nuclear attack on Vegas because the zombies are inside. They want the money from the basement, right? That's what everyone...
From the vault. The Vegas,
from the vault, yes.
Yeah.
Your character goes inside, why? I never understood that part, or maybe it was not explained.
No, the character goes to go and crack open the vault to get the money to get her and her family out of the camp.
Yeah.
And then she gets
But you get left behind.
I get kidnapped by the zombies.
Oh, you want to do this alone?
Yeah, because because obviously I'm there and I want to get out and I'm desperate to get my family out. Yeah. So I want to get them out. So in an act of desperation, I go in there. But the crazy part is, and which is a big thing.
Please address it. Yeah.
Is because what happens to this family and this person in the end.
Yeah.
Because when
disappear.
Yeah.
No, there is one shot, but then nothing. We don't see the end.
They come, they rescue me, and then there's a crash.
Exactly. Yeah.
So actually, we shot another ending.
Oh.
And the ending was the reason why I did the film. And the ending was that...
you shoot the zombies?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
That's the reason why I did the film, because the main zombies, and I shoot him in the end, because Dave Bautista has now been bit. He's going to turn into a zombie. So obviously it's like, oh my God, if Dave Bautista becomes a zombie, it's all over. And Ella, who's playing his daughter, is obviously emotional. Should I kill my father? Should I not? And it's that moment. And now the zombie, who's obviously can't die just by a crash, comes to attack them. And I come in and I shoot the zombie in the head, and that's how he dies. And then in the end, it's just me and Ella left and two women. But I think, and this is what I was told, that when they showed the film to a test screen audience in America, they thought that, who's this person who's saving the day? Because obviously they don't know me, and they don't know because I'm new for that part of the world. And they thought a more fitting end would be if some of the more recognizable faces sort of closes the deal.
Ah.
So that's when they re-edited it. So which is of course my issue was but Ella's also coming in over to this place because she doesn't care about the money. It's her friend, which is my character, to save me.
Yeah.
And I've come in for the money, but then what happens to this family and the kids and this woman?
You're supposed to forget this now.
That's the primary reason for why everyone goes inside, right?
Or at least why she goes inside.
Correct. Why Ella goes inside. So that was that. But I guess that's...
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
हर जगह यही होता है ना?
हर इंडस्ट्री में यही होता है. हमें लगता है कि बहुत अलग होगा, सिर्फ इंग्लिश में बातें ज्यादा करते हैं वो लोग.
यहाँ भी बातें इंग्लिश में ही होती है by and large. No, this conversation was totally in English. तो हिंदी में पूछता हूँ मैं आपसे कि जब आप संजय लीला भंसाली की फिल्म में काम करती हैं, वहाँ पे भी एक सॉन्ग ही किया आपने. I'm pretty sure you did it because it's Bhansali, right?
Of course.
What was that like?
Amazing. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Bhansali.
So now he has to compensate you. That's how it worked with Subhash Kapoor. No?
You said it. No, I would love to. I would love to be directed by sir. In fact, I told him also. I said, I've done a song with you, which is not my forte. I want to do now scenes with you because that's when really I will do my thing. But no, I think for any actress, it is a dream to be directed by Mr. Bhansali because he really is a magician. And I think the way he elevates his women, the way he looks at them, the way he presents them, I don't think anybody else can do that. There's even to like a prostitute's character, he really looks at them with so much respect and dignity. And I think nobody else in this country has that kind of visual aesthetic that he brings forth. So yeah, it was a delight. I learned some 4 different kind of choreographies for that song by the end of the song shoot because I had real jewelry and that sari ka zari work and all that. I had fully bruised and battered my arms and legs. So it was like literally like going to war. But it was just the most satisfying experience of my life because it just looks so stunning. And I think everyone, we didn't promote it or whatever. Like, I think, so when people saw it, just the kind of reaction I got because he wanted to create that little old school Kawal ki dunya, and I'm just very, very honored that I got to be a part of his vision. I just find him too good. Like,
so do you have a checklist? Like, इसमें माधुरी दीक्षित तो हो गया, भंसाली भी हो गए. Is there more left?
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan, of course. Yeah.
अब आप पूछ रहे हो तो फिर बता ही देते ना. हाँ.
I mean, Dimple has been in.
क्यों नहीं हो सकता? Of course,
yeah,
anything is
has been
possible. 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else?
Tarantino. और
कोई शहर की कुछ बात हो जाए या मे बी चेन्नई में नहीं
उनको पता है
you done Paraji, that's another one of the bucket list, right?
Incredible filmmaker, such a genius, and I think just the sensitivity, his vision.
I haven't met him. Is he conversant in English?
Not as fluent, but I think he's very expressive, so you will get exactly what he's trying to say, and I think his worldview, the way his women are very, very strong. I really enjoyed working on that set. And also like a set where, I mean, one of the ADs who was helping with my Tamil lines was also a woman. But just the way everyone was, the mahal was very, very nice. And I really enjoyed working on that film. Of course, working with Rajni sir.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
That's
dream.
another one, no?
That's another
Checklist,
one.
yeah.
ये तो करना ही पड़ेगा. I remember Dhanush had called me for that film, and I thought Dhanush was calling me to do a film with him.
Was he a producer on the film?
He was a producer on the film.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
So I was like, I thought this was a film with you. He's like, no, babe, it's even bigger. And when he said Rajni, so I go, okay, done.
What is there to say?
Yeah, of course, करना ही पड़ेगा एक बार तो. This is one of those things.
How does it work when you're doing a language you don't know? Like I remember like people telling me back in the day, because it was a common thing, right? A lot of actors from Bombay would go and work in and continue to. They would just say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
No.
And then because they have done this in the past.
Of course. अभी तो मतलब AI आ गया तो उसकी भी क्या जरूरत है?
मैं
तो फोटो भेज दूंगी सेल्फी की, मतलब बना लेना जो करना है. मतलब I am तो really afraid for my job now. पता नहीं क्या होने वाला है. But no, I think what at least my process for both the Tamil films that I've done with Ajit sir and with Rajni sir is that I try and sit with somebody who's a native of the language and I try and understand what the scene is about. And then after that, after you understand the intention of the scene is where are the natural pauses of the scene as per the language. Then I'm going to be like, okay, if I would do the scene, then I would naturally pause over here, or I would like to stress this word,
right?
Because that's what comes naturally to me, the way I speak or the way I stress, because each actor is different, right?
And depends on what the word is.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then if I want a word, like say I feel like improvising this, so give me some options. So then this is like a full, so it's like double the mehnat of a regular film.
Yeah.
And then try and memorize as much as I can. And if I can't, then just, I don't get like perturbed by it. It's equivalent in my head to acting in gibberish in theatre. You know, when you, and I feel like there are more enough exercises where you, the intention has to be clear, but the words don't really matter.
Got it. So that's a lot of films done. One we discussed was Hollywood, and of course the South Tamil industry. I think you're doing a few more in the South even now, right? Which you've not spoken about, but then you've not done those films. And there's a lot of Bollywood, as it were. It's a long, action-packed journey. I'm coming to the end, almost the end of the conversation. When you look back at the world, and of course it's not just you, and I'm also adding Sakib to it because it's also like a combined journey, right? You guys also live together.
Sure. Yeah.
His journey is going to be very different from your journey because we do live, whether we like it or not, in a quasi-patriarchal society. And if every quasi-patriarchal society, I'm being kind.
You're being very
like
kind.
overtly patriarchal society.
Hyper.
So both of you become actors here. How is his life and his journey been different from yours, in the sense of how you navigate the world? Is it easier for a guy, or it doesn't matter in some sense?
I think हर इंसान को अपना struggle ज़्यादा मुश्किल लगता है, for sure. I can always tell you my side of the things, you know, as a woman, what it means to have that experience or to be on a set, or you know, not be the number on the call sheet, and then to also know what it feels like to be the number on the call sheet, and then when you have tasted blood, to understand the difference. But now when I also look at Sakib or other guy friends of mine, I feel like it's tough, man. It's tough being
for both?
It's tough being a male actor. It's tough being a male actor from the outside. It's tough because again, it's really hard to sort of, I guess, convince people that you can carry a film on your shoulders. And as far as this whole theatrical box office situation is concerned, I still think we still operate a little bit from a very old kind of ideology and mindset.
Hero कौन है?
पिक्चर किस पे माउंट होगी, उसका पिछला धंधा क्या था, like this is, and I feel like you know, तो बदलाव कैसे आएगा अगर हम उन्हीं चीजों में ऐसे उन्हीं conversations में ऐसे फंस जाएंगे, and which is why I feel like somewhere perhaps we've gone back and not ahead, and I feel being a guy is, I don't know if it's harder or easier, but it's hard. It's really hard
either way.
And I see him go through that, and I get it, and I think as family, as a sister, as a brother, we can just be there for each other. One can't really do much, but you can hold space for each other, and you can be like, okay, because I do believe, and both of us actually do believe this, when it doesn't come easy, it's fine. Like, you have to have a little bit of patience, because sooner or later you will power through. You just have to keep running. It might not happen immediately, but it will happen. It's like saying, like, I can't see beyond the next 100 meters of where this my headlights are showing me. But if I could just keep following this much, अगर मैं बॉम्बे से निकलूंगी तो दिल्ली तो पहुंच जाऊंगी कभी ना कभी. You just have to keep going in that direction.
That's what mountaineers do, right? They don't look at the peak.
You can't,
they only look at exactly
it's
what's in front
impossible.
of them.
Like, if I look at my life, saying some kid from Delhi coming to Bombay and wants to be a movie star, it's ridiculous. You don't know how you're going to do this, but you can only see the next 100 meters, and that's all that you have.
Does it change things when you go back, because there's no one in your family who's been a movie star? Like, the way you're looked at by your friends and your relatives, is it completely different? Like that, it's a kind of fame which is
cool.
It is cool.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
Does it treat you differently?
It's nice being famous.
It's nice being famous.
It's nice being famous. It's nice. It is true. Like, anyone who says not nice being famous is lying.
Right, it's fun, right?
It's fun. It's fun being famous. It's fun, like, having a team, you know, it's fun, like, having all these perks. Like, if I didn't have it, I would not like it, perhaps. Like, if I went out, like, for lunch and no one wanted to take a selfie, I'd be like, kya ho gaya? Like, what's wrong? So anyone who says that they don't enjoy it, I think is lying. I think we really enjoy it, and also some people like to do, like, oh God, my privacy is only not there. I'm like, but you did
but
this.
Then why did you,
why did you do this in the first place? In fact, I think for me, it'll hurt if it goes away. I think it'll really hurt if it goes away. In fact, I think with each year, I think I'm becoming greedier and greedier. I say, why can't I have that? And why can't I do those? Like, I'm already thinking, why can't I get that budget to make that kind of action movie with me?
And where is Tarantino?
Why is he not messaging me already? Like, just don't tag him on this video.
Tarantino's going to be watching this, and if this happens, come on, uska bhi 10% idhar de dena, please. if this works out.
You want to be my manager or what?
100%. 100%.
छोड़ ये, sit down, sit down.
ये क्या कर रहे हैं? No, but the reason why I asked you about patriarchy, and of course I wanted to get to some place with that particular point, was the flip side of fame, which is also the flip side of any industry. I think movie industry gets, gets a bad rap for it. It happens everywhere. What did you think of the Me Too movement, for instance?
Oh wow, you really went straight for it, huh? What did I think of it? Needed, much needed. These are things that often were spoken about in like hushed tones and whispers and like
often laughed about also.
Often normalized also. So I think much needed. I think gave a few people a bit of a wake-up call and got them to like sort of perhaps do things a bit more covertly and not so overtly. But I still do think that it's not really like, it's not really made a real dent.
No?
I don't know, has it? Like, I feel like, I feel like till the time we don't stop branding the women who come out and speak about it in popular media, it's not going to be okay. I still feel there's so much victim shaming and branding that happens that a lot of women don't come forward and talk about it. And it's often like, let it go now. I don't want to be that girl who sort of called that guy out, because it's always the women who carry the shame. And that's really unfortunate. You know, and I feel all of us are responsible. I feel we need to stop doing that, which is why a lot more people don't come out and don't speak about it. And that's really on us as society, as a business, as an industry, as everything.
And the reverse is never true, in the sense that the so-called perpetrators were never shamed or aren't shamed enough.
They're shamed, but then like, I don't know.
Life carries on?
Life carries on, I guess. See, again, having said that, I feel like let's set better systems in place. You know, I do know, like on a set that I was working on, and it happens in every department.
Sure.
Right? There was a girl who worked in the makeup department. And because she was not too friendly to the guy the HOD of that department, she was asked to go back from an outdoor. So when I got to know, I of course escalated it to the EP saying, hey, I got to know about this and I don't think that's cool. Because what does that even mean? You're not friendly enough. You don't come and hang at the after parties, or you don't like go out drinking or whatever. I think that's harassment. You're just not, you being covert about it, but it's still not cool. And of course, when the girl was contacted, she didn't want to make a fuss about it. She's like, it's fine. I don't want to be that girl who... So how do you make sure that you don't have that system of, I don't know, systemic silence?
Sure. Yeah, it's also like this strange world where, because also you're dealing with emotions.
Like, I'll tell you very honestly, and I'm going to say this. If somebody was to trouble me, I would take it up with that person on a one-to-one level. I will make sure I tell all my friends about it. I will make sure I'll shame that person in my this thing. But
in your circle anyway.
In my circle anyway, I'll make sure somebody asks me saying, "वो ऐसा बंदा है, ये," मैं 100% बोलूँगी. But if somebody's going to ask me in a question like this on camera, I'll probably not talk about it, because then आप जो चलाओगे ना ये.
And the focus will shift from your work into this particular.
To me being like the poster child for abuse, and I don't want to do that. You know, the focus should be. Even today, in the way,
and to be on you instead of the person who's
right, and what
actually
his, exactly, and I feel that's horrible. That's just horrid.
And it is the truth.
It is the truth.
That applies even to you.
100%. I'm forget all this. आपको आज की कोई भी serial killer documentaries, even today, the way we are showcasing how these monsters are projected, it's quite glamorous. They're like the ones with the mother who was not there and this traumatic childhood, and now they're like skinning women and killing them, and like there's a bit of like glory to them, you know. But the women who've actually been through that, they're sort of like just victims, you know, brushed aside kind of a thing. And I think that's not the way to do. Like this film that I've just done, Bayan, which went to TIFF and Busan and everything, where I play a cop and she takes on this systemic guy who uses his power to abuse women. And how she brings in on the entire case is about her finding that one person who come forward and give testimony, bayan, hence. And she's not able to find that person. But the focus, when we were trying to make this film, and Vikas, who's the director who wrote the script and directed it.
What's the film called again?
Bayan.
Bayan, got it. Yeah.
And what I really liked about it, they never portrayed this guy as this larger than life guy. In fact, the idea was to show him for what he really is.
Right, that is so true.
You know?
I felt that about everything that I've watched to do with, for instance, in the context of India, to do with Charles Sobraj. He's a serial killer. He's a bikini killer.
Yeah,
Why
but
is he
see,
so
bikini
cool?
killer suddenly puts a certain imagery in your head. It's making it pulpy and sexual and cool and I don't know. There's something about it.
And he's a
You're
cool
glossing
dude.
it
Why?
up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're glossing it up.
Yeah.
You're not really actually showing him for what he was. That he killed so many people.
Yeah. Which is why when they made Inspector Zende, because then the focus is on the cop.
Yes.
So then I'm going to see this guy's story of nabbing that dude instead of the other way around.
My friend produced it. Jayu, hi.
Hello. Okay, now to end this on a very, very happy note.
Okay.
No more serious ho gaya. You're rich.
I'm rich. I'm famous.
You're famous.
I'm pretty.
You're loving it. You're pretty. I'm guessing you're single.
Yes.
Yes.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Okay. So how does it work to be rich, famous, pretty, and single? Is it very hard to be that person in terms of when you out in the dating world? Like, is it very hard for you, especially guys outside the world you live in? Like when you meet new people, is it tough? Because when they're talking to you, are they talking to you because you're the heroine, or are they talking to you because you're any other person? ये काटना मत भाई.
Just okay, one second. Just think again what you asked.
Yeah,
is
I'm
that
asking
even a question?
How hard is it to be rich, famous, single, pretty, and be in the dating world?
Not hard at all.
Not hard at all.
Not hard at all. It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
It's a great problem to have.
Thank you very much, Huma Qureshi. On that note, it's been a pleasure to have you.
Poor little rich me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your window to India and the world. Midday. Local pulse, global perspective.